You may probably tell that I just got out of the shower. So, guess what? I'm making a video! What is up, guys? This is Mega Man Chief Fan here. Welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be doing kind of like a book rant on what I'm reading next, like a discussion about buddy reads and my opinion on buddy reads, and then a rant. A pretty controversial rant, I'll tell you that. But it's nothing too controversial, but it's like book type of controversial. It's nothing like political or something. So, yeah, it's more book-wise, yeah. So, I was watching Peter Likes Books yesterday, who's probably going to become my favorite booktuber. He's absolutely amazing, and we're really good friends on BookTube, so hi Peter if you're watching this. So, and he does kind of like these ramble videos, so I decided, you know what, let's try this out. So I'm gonna steal it. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna try this whole, like, rant type of thing out. So the word rant isn't really that bad until the end of this video, but because I'm not talking about any of the first 4 books I'm gonna talk about, I'm not talking about them anywhere bad. Because I haven't actually read any of the first 4. So, yeah, I'm really excited. So, let's just hop right into the discussion with what I'm going to be reading next. So, first up is A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. This is really, I read The Kite Runner and absolutely loved it. And this is supposed to be just as good. I've heard just as good of things about this as The Kite Runner, and it's also a massively popular book. So, it's nice to see that Khaled Hosseini isn't just a one-trick pony, unless if this is the exact same thing as The Kite Runner. This is what I'm kind of fearing about this book, but I've heard some differences about this between The Kite Runner, so I'm pretty excited. I just feel like I'm going to be worried about it having the same tone. So, yeah, A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. I'm excited. Alright, the next book that I'm going to be reading is The Revenant by Michael Punk. I was debating on doing the audiobook of this, but I just decided, I like the audiobook, but I'm just going to start. I got like 30 minutes in the audiobook, and I'm like, nah, the audiobook, if you like audiobooks, and you want to read The Revenant, go read it on the audiobook. It is good, but just, novels for me just don't work on audiobook, so I'm just going to start all over again and read it like normal. So, yeah, The Revenant, it's massive. You guys probably all know it because of the movie with DiCaprio and Tom Hardy and the bear. So, yeah, The Revenant by Michael Punk. Really excited to read this. And this next book, okay, before I talk about this book, I just want to make an update. The Man Booker Best Fiction Prize long list has just been released, and it's kind of controversial on Twitter from what I've heard. But I'm actually excited about a couple of the books, and this is one of them because I bought this book like 2 weeks ago, or was it 2 weeks ago? It's somewhere between 2 weeks ago. So, and that is The North Water by Ian McGuire, which is one of the long list nominees. So, yeah, really excited about this. This is pretty much the North Pole version of Moby Dick. It's about whalers or harpooners in the North Pole, and it seriously looks like something I may love, and it's not long at all, so I could probably get through this pretty easily. So yeah, The North Water by Ian McGuire. I don't know if this is a first printing or not. This is the first edition, but I don't know if it's a first printing. No, I don't think this is a first printing. Or maybe it is. This may be first edition, first printing. But yeah, I have the first edition hardcover, so yeah, I just don't know if it's the first printing or not. I'm always obsessed with first editions. Like, I have a first edition, first printing of All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, and I'm just obsessed with first editions, guys. Like, I go on eBay sometimes, and I just, like, rant about, like, I just see what, like, the first edition of The Great Gatsby's going for, because there is a copy on there, I swear. And the next book I'm going to show you is actually, it's going to start a little bit of another discussion, and that is The Absolute True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie. I don't know how to pronounce her. I don't know. It's a YA book. Surprise, surprise, Graham is reading a YA novel. But, I'm reading this because I'm doing a buddy read with Peter Likes Books, who is, I've already probably mentioned in this video because he's awesome, but I asked to do a buddy read, and he's like, hey, let's... At first I wanted to do American Gods, but he's like, let's do something a little bit shorter. So we eventually settled on The Absolute True Diary of a Part-Time Indian. So this is actually my first YA book in a long while, and these are the type of... If I'm ever gonna like a YA book, it's gonna be more like this instead of like YA fantasy, because Cassandra Clare, oh my god, she makes me vomit. But her works make me vomit, not her as a person. But yeah, this just looks like a fun little story. Kind of reminds me of like there's pictures in it. It kind of reminds me of a Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But yeah, The Absolute True Diary of a Part-Time Indian. Really excited to read this. And before I get to the last section of the video where I do a little bit of a rant, I just want to say, if you want to do a buddy read with me, just go ahead and ask. Go ahead and ask me in the comments, or you can message me on Twitter. And just, you guys don't be shy to do a buddy read with me. This is gonna be, I love buddy reads. Like, I've only done one buddy read ever. This is my second one and first one on BookTube. So just, guys, don't hesitate to try to do a buddy read with me or try to contact me, because this is great. I love this feeling of just being appreciated, and just like, I'm completely overly obsessed with attention, so that's kind of a problem of mine. But yeah, if you guys want to do buddy read with me, don't hesitate, just do it. Just do it. So, oh, old meme right there, old meme. Nice. So, what am I even doing anymore? Alright, let's get into the last part of this video. And that is pretty controversial, because I recently read what I can safely call my least favorite book of all time. It's not the worst. That's how it goes to Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. But this book made me furious. I felt like I was going to get a flu from this book. I hated this so much. And I know, and the reason why I say so controversial, because it's one of the most praised books ever. Like a whole ton of literary critics say that this is the great English novel. And honestly, I found it obnoxious, annoying, pretentious, and just awful. So, here we go. Time to get a little bit of controversy. I've been talking about this book all over my Twitter, and that's Ulysses by James Joyce. I know one person, Conrad! Conrad's probably gonna yell at me for this, saying, how dare you hate Ulysses? He's one of my favorites, because in his last video he described himself as like a James Joyce fanboy. But I'm sorry. I hate this book. I hate how the prose is set up. I hate, like, his writing style. And just, everything was crushed. The story is nothing. The characters were tolerable, but they were destroyed by the language. Everything in this book was destroyed by James Joyce's prose and writing. And, oh, it was so bad. I hated it. Like, this whole, like, I just couldn't stand it. It just was awful. I hated this book. I'm just gazing off into the distance now, just looking up at Sandman, because I'm just trying to find something better, because Sandman is up there. But Ulysses, the reason why I don't like this book is just because of the writing. James Joyce's writing, you either love or you hate it, and as you can probably tell, I absolutely hate his writing style. It makes me just want to vomit. It's just so... At first, it was not confusing. It was pretentious, but not confusing. But then he just goes over the wall. He just, like, tries to go, like, diverse. It tries to be as diverse as possible, which I can kind of appreciate. But at the same time, I think I've heard once that he deliberately tried to make this novel so confusing so that people can talk about it long after his death. And I don't know about you guys, but if that's true, that's the most pretentious thing I've ever heard from an author. So I know all the things about, like, James Joyce having Asperger's, and I don't know, it's just, like, I just hated this book, guys. I don't know what it was about it. I may do a whole video on Ulysses, but I just wanted to get my opinion out there, because I could not just let this book be sat on my shelf and rotted, and just be rotting every other book, because I think the short stories of F. Scott Fitzgerald sits right next to it, and I just hate this book so much. I know loads of people love it, and if you love it, all power to you. Like Conrad, I know you love this book, and all power to you. I can definitely see why you like this book. I just personally despise it. So, Ulysses, it didn't click with me at all. In fact, it's probably my least favorite book of all time now. Alright, so that was a little bit of a rant, except with me gazing off in the distance for a minute, but I know this was not the best video in the world, but honestly, I'm kind of running out of ideas right now, so anyway, that was the video. Don't be scared, and like I said, comment down below if you guys want to do a buddy read with me, because I'm kind of obsessed with the idea of buddy reads right now, because I'm doing the one with Peter. So, anyway, I'm just gonna end this here before I just go way off track just gazing up at Sandman again. So anyway, I'm Mega Man Chief Fan, and I'll see you later, guys.